Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm going to show you how I put together this little swatch booklet that I have here of all the products that I have and that I use. And this is sized to fit into a traveler's notebook cover. So here I've gone ahead and cut out some scrapbook paper. It's 8.5 inches tall by 9 inches wide. And then I went ahead and created these pages here with some grids that are 4 inches wide and 8 inches tall. So each square is a 1 inch by 1 inch square. I went ahead and printed out 6 of those double-sided, and then I have 2 blank pages there, and I did print that out on just regular white cardstock. So you could very easily just take a ruler and create that template. It doesn't have to be created on your computer. I'm just taking my Martha Stewart scoreboard and scoring these pages down the center and then folding them. So I went ahead and did that for all of the pages, and then here's just the outer cover. I'm just making sure I have nice crisp folds since the cardstock is pretty thick. I'll go ahead and put that together, and just again I'm using the bone folder to really sharpen that crease. And then we'll go ahead and use this little tool here. This is by Tim Holtz. It's a paper piercing tool. So I'm going to go ahead and just use some little bulldog clips to clip my booklet together and hold it together while I'm piercing the holes. And then you'll go ahead and pierce this. Now you could use a long arm stapler, which I do have, but I wanted to show you how to stitch the binding if you don't have one of those long arm staplers. So I'm going to go ahead and punch 5 holes. And I kind of use the grids that I already have printed on there as a guide to make sure they're evenly spaced. They don't have to be evenly spaced. It doesn't have to be fancy, but they do just kind of help with that. Here I'm taking a yarn needle, and then I have some baker's twine. This is just some that I picked up last winter in the dollar spot at Target. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I cut off a good amount of it. I end up having way more than I need, but that's fine. I'll go ahead and take the largest needle in that package, and I'll go ahead and thread that with the twine. And then I'm going to go ahead and from the inside of the booklet, go out on the center hole, and I'll leave myself a little tail so that I can tie it at the end. And then I'm going to go ahead and come in through the second hole from the left. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that through. Again, making sure I don't pull out that tail. And then I'm going to go ahead and go down through the far left hole. And then pull that through. And then I'll come back in through the second hole from the left, making sure that I'm coming up through the hole and not catching the thread that's already gone, or that baker's twine that's already gone through the hole, or it'll make it so you can't tighten it down. Go ahead and make sure that's nice and tight. Now I'm going to go ahead and skip that center hole. I'm going to go down through the second hole from the far right. And pull that on through. And then I'll go ahead and come up through the far right hole. Trying not to poke myself. And then you're going to pull that nice and tight. And then I'll go down through the second hole from the right. Again, making sure that I don't accidentally grab any bits of that baker's twine that's already in the hole. And then now I'm going to come up through the center hole, making sure that I don't catch the twine that's already in there, and then also making sure I'm on the opposite side of that thread that's gone across that hole. So basically I'll have a tail on either edge of that centerpiece that's crossed through there. And that's just so when you tighten it down, everything is nice and secure and I don't have to worry about it coming apart. But again, you could very easily use a stapler to do this. I just wanted to show you how to do that if you don't have the long arm stapler. And I'll go ahead and just double knot that and then trim the tails, and that is it. So now it is sewn together. You could use embroidery floss or anything like that to do this with. And now I'm going to go ahead and cover that stitching. So I'll go ahead and lay this open flat, and I have just some washi tape here. And you do want to use like a standard width or wider washi tape. I'm just going to go ahead and cover that and then trim off the excess. And that's just going to further reinforce that stitching so that the stitching doesn't pull through those holes. This is a booklet that I use very frequently. It gets used and abused, and so I want to make sure that it's nice and secure and doesn't fall apart. This project ended up taking several hours to complete, so I don't really want to do it over and over again. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my cutting mat, and I have just a craft X-Acto knife and then a metal ruler, and I'm going to line that up with the edge of my pattern paper. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the excess of those white insert pages. It's better to do light pressure and multiple passes than try to push down super hard and get through all of them in one shot. You're more likely to have a crooked line or cut yourself. So just be careful with that. And you do want to use a metal ruler so you don't tear up one of your plastic rulers or something like that. So now you can see the booklet's all nice and has a straight edge there. And then I'll just go through and I've filled it with swatches. Here I just used a stamp that I had and stamped out little pencils and then colored them in with my Inktense pencils. Here are my distress inks. I just used a little heart stamp and then stamped little swatches in there. And here are gelatos, my Lyra Aqua Color crayons, various watercolors that I have. So I just go through and swatch all of those out in this booklet. So now I can just pull it out and figure out what colors I already own or don't own yet, or what colors I want to use for a project. So be sure to check out the description bar down below. I'll have links to all of the products that I used and the products that I have swatched out in this booklet. Be sure to subscribe so you can be up to date on any future videos that I may have coming out. And thank you again. Until next time. Bye-bye.